these guys keep killing themselves around us. It's just so funny.
Well, I just love it. Just hung himself right in the fucking wood chipper.
I mean, generally, you're not a man of
I had to
taste.
watch all the movies.
Oh,
Am I
yeah.
gonna say to this clerk at Smith's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just want these like that.
Yeah, I got a Celine. I should have worn my Celine Dion shirt.
You got all this.
I got Celine Dion shirt.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Spoken Podcats. I'm your host, Jake Stewart.
Hi.
I'm joined with Cory.
Hi, I'm Cory.
Cory Wilson.
Thanks for having me, Jake.
Anytime, man. I told you, you're always welcome on your show.
Thanks, man.
This is episode 4, and
Yeah. I used it immediately.
I didn't see it coming, dude. That gets me every time. Like, I love not paying attention, because I guess that was a thing that, like, swept through everybody. Like, the rap horns was, like, the joke, but I missed it. I just heard it a couple times. This is super fresh to me. But yeah, episode 4, Broken Spoken Podcats. We also have 2 other podcasts that are up and going. We got the B&D podcast.
Yeah.
That is, they got, like, I think they just dropped episode 12. And that was pretty fun. That was a juicy one. They talked about, you guessed it, sports.
Sports. That's Byron and David, right? And they're talking about sports and whatnot.
Byron and
Oh, sorry, it's Brian and David.
Dylan. We'll just do random. No, that was actually Bob and Derek. You're thinking of a
Right.
different one.
Yeah, Bob and Derek. Bob and Derek in the morning.
Then now we have YouTube Love. That came out. We have an episode of that up at the time of this recording as well.
Can't wait to
So,
listen to that one.
I'm on that one. Check it out. We talk about some fun stuff like YouTube analytics and what YouTube is, because a lot of people don't even know that far. I don't get it. It's just videos. So that's basically all. It took us an hour just to say that.
Yeah,
It's just videos on this fucking website. I don't know.
it's a video. It's videos on a website that everybody knows it's videos on a website. So
Yeah.
that's fucking cool.
Yeah, and everybody's self-aware now. We're kind of hitting the singularity moment. It's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
And we have and Cory. There is episode 1. It's kind of a not scheduled podcast that'll show up every time we have an episode ready for you.
Fucking A. That's with
And
me.
in that episode, that's with Cory.
Yeah.
That's Cory. And he talks with Adam Kreisel. It's to be honest with you, just because of how different that show is, and we had to figure out some audio, but we were such we just put it up. We just had a good
Yeah.
time. You got right on it, got the interview taken care of and stuff. But it's my favorite show. Is what I'm driving.
I love it. It's like I just want to interview people that I find interesting and talk about topics that I think need to be talked about. And then, whatever.
Yeah.
It's really just a fucking open forum. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be really fun, and I didn't expect it to be so personal, and I think that's why I liked it so much, is because I love exploring personal topics, and Adam takes everything you throw at him in stride. He's talking about his parents and his childhood and everything growing up, and how he's adjusted into adulthood.
Well, that's what I wanted to know about him. I've known the guy for years, and you can know somebody for a long time, and then you never really get into the meat of what made them who they are. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, and then go into the shit that he's doing today. But yeah, go check that out. That's on BrokenSpokeNetwork.com.
That's right, yeah. And if you ever have an issue with the website, I'm just going to say this, because I am going to just fix it soon, and we'll figure that out. But if you have problems with the URL, it is a WordPress hosted site, so you can do BrokenSpokeNetwork.wordpress.com if it doesn't work for you the normal way, because they should both send you there.
And there's
just
links
case.
for that on all our social media, so you should be able to find it if you really try.
Check it. But I updated the website this morning, so it's prettier and more user-friendly. So, yeah, go over there. Tell us how we're doing. There's a little section there. You can contact us. Just say hi. I mean, even if you just want, like, maybe some advice on what you're going to eat that day, we could give you some input.
I'll tell you what you need to eat. Shit. Go eat shit.
And I guess 4 episodes in, I would say that if you guys want to drop us any questions for any of the shows, go ahead and do that through the website or brokenspokenetwork@gmail.com. You can check us out there. Send us questions, comments, and suggestions about the show. That's open now, just so y'all know. Just some announcements this time. But yeah, all the Supaishi details out of the way, dude. Let's talk about things and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I go first? We wanted to do some Netflix talk, right?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's get into it. What'd you get into? Yeah, shush up, Chris.
Yeah. So my favorite. God, Chris, I'm recording. Jeez. That was the door closing by my wife, Carissa. That was a sound you're going to hear all the time. She always just closing doors on me. That's our relationship summed up.
Fucking fancy. You got doors and shit. We get it. Fucking big deal. Carissa just closing and open. Does she open them, or does she have somebody that opens them for her?
You know, as a rich man like myself, when I really listened to Drake, I understand what it was like to start at the bottom and finally be here.
You're right around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Just over there. West side. So anyways, I like The Punisher probably. I think that show just stood out the most to me because when I don't think there were any superhero elements in that show, right?
Well, that's I think really what I love about that show is I was kind of fucking blown away because I do like the Punisher movie that they came out with Travolta and I can't remember the guy's name, but they came out a while back and it's just kick-ass, you know, because it's a different. I guess technically he's a hero, but he's not fucking super, except he's like a fucking badass soldier. You know, that's what I love about it. It's really relatable, you know.
It's kind of like the Batman thing, right? Where he's just super trained.
Yeah.
Like he's just very
but
trained
he's not
up
a billionaire, so like that's pretty fucking, that's as super as you can get in my book.
Florida was a $20 of ammo.
Yeah, no shit. But no, I
killed 100 people with it too.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. And John Barenthal rocked the fuck out of that Frank Castle.
Dude,
part.
that guy. I remember watching Walking Dead, which you said you wanted to talk about Walking Dead, so pin that. I forgot that I was going to remind you of that. But when we were watching that the first time, my buddy Frank was like, I was like, I don't like that guy. I don't like his character. I fucking hate him while I'm watching the show. And he's like,
you're supposed to.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, God, he's fucking amazing.
Like and now I'm getting that, though, because it took Walking Dead, and then when he showed up on the Arrow as the Punisher, I think that's season 2.
Get the fuck out of here.
Villain.
He's in Arrow?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because he like main... Was it Arrow? Yeah, I'm pretty sure
he was in Daredevil.
Arrow. Daredevil.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah, no,
season
it's
2.
All good. Yeah, no, not CW,
Damn.
Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, Daredevil, because Daredevil's really good too, but he was in season 2 of that, and I was like, alright, it's pretty alright, and then watching The Punisher the show, I'm just like, I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
This guy just, he's so good at being like an uncomfortable, irritated person, you know what I mean? It's not like he's an asshole, it's just like, he can't find comfort, and it shows in like all these scenes spread out throughout The Punisher, because that's the backstory of Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Like his life fucking sucks now.
Oh, fucking A.
Like everything he loved got ripped away from him.
That was the thing that I was going to be concerned about, that you did the Walking Dead connection, is just that he did such a good job of convincing me that he was a fucking asshole by the time that he, you know, exited The Walking Dead, that I was, how the fuck can you connect to this guy? You know, sometimes somebody gets in a role and then they're kind of typecast as that dude, you know, he's not really a piece of shit, you know, he's like Shane is, you know, as characters go, and Shane...
It's kind of like the Jason Statham thing. He seems the same, like, it's just, that's who he is.
Yeah, but I fucking loved him. Like, I felt bad for him. It's like, I remember, like, my wife would walk through and she's doing shit, you know, and I'm watching Punisher for my 3rd hour of the day or whatever, and and I'm like, dude, this is fucking sad. Like, how many times is he going to go to bed and have to wake up to the vision of his,
Oh my god, I mean, dude! When they do those flashbacks at the beginning of the show too, and this is spoiler heavy.
Oh yeah, everything's gonna be super
so
spoiler heavy.
Yeah.
It's been out for a while. If you haven't seen it, then it's not a fucking priority for you.
Yeah. If for the future, if we talk about something, we're gonna talk about all of it. But yeah, when when she's just like, "Hey, good morning."
Yeah. It's so beautiful.
And she does such a good job of like looking like just sweet, just sweet and innocent,
happy
and
to have him home.
Just like they captured that really well. And then he like fucking no, like I'm like, what? This is a nightmare that happens every day,
every fucking day. Well, he can't even get through work or whatever he's doing without. He
can't get through a day.
Yeah, it's like and
that pilot was so strong because of that. Him with the hammer, like literally releasing his aggression in the best way that he can, contained and not bothering anyone.
If that
bothers him.
If that hammer can tell stories.
Oh god, man.
He had an interesting last day.
But dude, the number one connection I made in my mind to something similar was Logan, Old Man Logan.
Yeah, it kind of had that feel.
Because like everybody to this point is really well versed on Wolverine and how he can't die and how that's his tragedy, like that he has to watch others pass. And he survives like all this shit, and he doesn't get the release of death after going through all this crazy shit. That's like, Logan is Wolverine is just such a sad character, and then an Old Man Logan. Well, I guess it's just called Logan.
Yeah.
I always say that.
Well, no,
Logan, but
I can understand calling it that.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the movie, when he absolutely destroys those guys for like fucking with him, and he gets really put off, and he just like rampages and like murders the fuck out of them.
Oh, he murders them so much.
He murders them so hard, and Frank Castle does the same thing for an entire season. Like that show feels, and there's build up to it. It's not just like an untasteful rampage or whatever.
No, yeah.
I feel like they build up to the moments where he becomes the Punisher really, really well.
Yeah,
because you feel bad. You feel way
well,
bad.
they have more similarities than most people probably know. I mean, no, everybody knows. That's bullshit. Everybody can see it. They're both just totally broken fucking men that have one goal, for the most part, And at least Logan in that one, he's more than anything just trying to lay low and take care of the fucking professor. But
protect his own.
Frank Castle, it seems like he can't get rest because of the tragedies in his life. And so he's going to turn that shit into fucking business for him, which is kicking the shit out of bad guys. And
what are like a couple of top scenes that like stood out the most to you? Because I got a couple in my mind.
Well, the hammer scene. I loved the hammer scene. That's what hooked me into the show.
God damn.
At the end of that, was it the first episode or second episode?
That was the that was the first one.
But because at the beginning of it, I was like, this is going to be a stereotypical kind of Punisher thing. He's sniping people off. He's doing this. He's doing that. Running people over, which was all cool, But when it kind of did like a, not so much of an origin, but while you were away, while you were away, this is what Punisher's been doing. But then by the end, like, he's really tried to roast the fucking episode just to keep his head low. And like all everybody had to do was leave him the fuck alone, and they apparently had no desire to do that. And
dude, and could you imagine the feeling of just like, am I like a stinky pile of shit and you're the flies? Why is this following me?
No shit. He's a shit magnet, dude. And fucking God, I thought you were gonna say, could you imagine the feeling of Frank Castle hitting you in the fucking face with a hammer?
Oh, that would make me that pile of shit instantly. But my soul would evaporate, and I would.
That one stuck out, and the very end when he's pounding that dude, and after he got out,
the Agent Orange or
whatever his name is, the
code name,
dick face that he smashed in the beginning, fucked his eye up. When he gets out, and then the camera work on that to me was just like, oh my god, this is so fucking cool, because it would shake every time he'd hit him, it'd shake, and it's like, fuck, that is so badass. It was so good. And I could go on for a while. There's a lot of things, especially all the violent shit. I just love
the violent stuff.
Is
the juiciest. Oh my god!
The mirror. Oh god.
That's what I was gonna mention. I was gonna say at the very beginning, because of the just the way that they like show his torment with the nightmares, like we talked about, and then finally seeing what he was dealing with inside. And then on the outside, he was just taking shit and kind of just saying whatever. I've seen way worse than what you guys are throwing at me.
Yeah.
And then he gets put into the position of helping the guy that's like trying to be everybody's best friend. So it's like, come on, guys, I'll buy us beers. Yeah, let's go. I'll help you rob people at gunpoint. I just want to fit in. Like,
yeah.
But and then I liked the. I did kind of like the scene where I blank on names as soon as I go to talk about stuff.
Cool.
What's his partner's name?
His partner? Whose partner?
Yeah, the computer genius.
The hacker. I don't remember.
All right, well, Hacker Jack. He's when he regains control of the situation. Frank Castle has him tied up and he's starving him out, and he's just like, "You can't get comfortable." Because routine, and you look for routine, and I'm gonna take that away from you. You're not, and he does this thing, but then he's just like, yeah, no, I'm a super genius. This whole place is wired around my existence, and I'm gonna show you that. When he regains control of the situation, that's super cool, and that's also the beginning of them, because Frank knows. He was just like, all right, dude, like you won that one. I'm fucked.
Yeah, what am I gonna do?
And so. That was a dope point. And then later when, like at the very end, when he is getting beaten by Dickface and he's slipping into like, what looks like a coma.
Yeah.
Like it looks like he's done for.
Yeah, hell.
And hell. Yeah, you see the purgatory is just black. It's nothing around them. He went to the upside down meeting grounds.
It's like the negative Matrix load screen.
It's just,
you just go there.
Not
There's
where you
there.
want to end up. But when he's with his wife and he's they're like having sex and I think that was like fine, like I thought it was cool how they shot that and how they made, because that's how that's how I would feel. I would feel like there would be a void around me, and I would just remember the strongest bonding moments, like when me and Carissa were, making some sweet fiery passion with each other, and because it's super personal, and I remember specifically there was one day that was like, a spring day with plenty of sun, and the house felt good, and there's just sun pouring through and I'm home, and everything's clean and I'm comfortable. And so I had this like kind of idea of that, but then it would shrink in really just on me and her. Everything else would just disappear. That's where my mind would be. And they captured that visually so cool just by that scene.
Giving him
and having
the ability
him slip in and out.
Yeah, giving him the ability to fucking control his mind when he's in there, and being able to say like, you can kick the shit out of my body. I'm going to go in here and relive my fucking wedding night.
I'm gonna go bang my wife in my subconscious
on my wedding night, and in my kick-ass uniform, which you don't have. You didn't bring yours.
Dude, that was so cool too, because ultimately he lets go of that, and she's just like, "You coming?" And he's just like, I gotta like murder people for this. I'm really angry.
I got shit to do. I got shit to do, babe. Keep it tight.
So that, and when he fucks up Pretty Boy's face, just because that whole show they bait that idea of he was the handsome one and he was he was the charmer and the lady man and stuff, and I didn't expect it because it's kind of later in the fight and you get to see him like just drag his face down that broken glass.
Fuck, could you
like,
imagine that shit?
God.
Oh god, because all the shit that's what I love about the violence in it. There's violence, of course, but it's symbolic. They did a lot of good shit where it was like not just guns and him kicking people's ass. It was stuff that like that shit. If you lived through that, you wouldn't be the fucking same. If you got hit with a fucking sledgehammer, you're not going to be the same. If somebody break a mirror with your face and then drag your fucking face across the broken mirror, you're holy fuck. I mean,
and you know what's amazing about that scene?
What?
They do not make him say anything
Yeah.
about it. He doesn't say like, yeah, how fucking pretty are you now, boy? Like, he says nothing. He just does it. And the audience knows. They're just like, oh, you just fucked up his face.
Yeah.
That's his favorite thing.
That's his favorite face. You fucking destroyed it.
Dude, so intense. So, anyways, yeah, Punisher, like you said, mainly the violence, dude. Just it got me.
No, the story's really good too. It's just the violence stood out for me because I usually don't like
the violence
acts out
connected to the story.
I don't really like action movies and shit that much. If they, which is so fucking weird because I love superhero movies and shit, but. If I've never seen any Expendables or anything like that. I
haven't either. I gave that guy a fist bump. The one that was the Russian guy in Rocky 4.
Okay.
Remember that giant man?
Yeah, I don't remember his name in real life.
The boxer. I don't remember his name
Where'd
either.
you
but
meet him?
When I was when I worked at Starbucks, he was coming through because I worked in a nice hotel. So I was just like, everybody's like. Oh man, there's a famous guy, and I just went like,
and everybody,
you're a boxer.
Everybody said the same fucking thing though. They're like, oh, that's the fucking bad guy from Rocky. I don't remember his name, but
I will break you.
In shit.
Dude, I love Rocky 4.
I've never seen it, but
it's my favorite Rocky.
Is it? I've never finished the first Rocky. The only Rocky that I've seen all the way is Rocky Balboa, I think is what it's called. Is the one where it comes back and
fifth one or whatever.
Yeah, it's like one they made a few years back. And I watched Creed. It was okay.
Yeah, Creed was alright.
It could have been great.
Totally didn't expect the chick to die.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, chicks die, dude. I mean, it's what they fucking do
every day. So, why don't we talk about The Walking Dead a little bit?
Yeah, Walking Dead.
Since you wanted, because that was a big deal show to me, so I'm interested in your newfound appreciation, like your reignited appreciation for the show.
Well, I think I've mentioned it on the show before, kind of dogging it out, just saying it's the same old shit, and I was kind of sick of it for a while. But I just recently started watching this new season. And
what are they on now?
Season 8, and
okay.
I believe episode 8 comes out tonight as we're recording this.
Cool.
I fucking love it, and I think one of the reasons I figured out is it's not so Rick centric. There are obviously a lot of Rick parts in it, and I think he's been the thing that... And I like Rick. I like the character and shit, but it's...
Isn't it a chronology, like, of Rick?
It's kind of...
So he has to be the center point
to a degree. Yeah, totally. But they're breaking up and going into different factions, and Maggie's in charge of the Hilltop, and Rick's in charge of where Alexandria and shit, and they're at war. They are at fucking...
Oh, damn, okay.
And it's a fucking battle. And then you got the King Ezekiel, he's in charge of the kingdom. And he's got a tiger and shit. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you okay? Yeah. So I'll try to keep this spoiler free.
Oh, because dude. Well,
we're in the middle of the season.
if you keep it spoiler free, then it's gonna take me forever to get to these points because I'm gonna have to start at the beginning.
Yeah,
like that's just how my brain goes.
I mean, I'm weird because I can fucking bust through a series. Like I can do it.
Yeah,
I'm built for watching TV. But no, it kind of reignited my fandom for The Walking Dead, and I think they're doing a really fucking good job. And they probably have the entire time. You just get used to a certain rhythm of a movie or a show or the way something goes, and you get used to a certain what they're doing, and then they're not. I think that's really what it is. It's the same thing when I was talking shit about season 2 of Stranger Things, and then I rewatched it, and I'm like, I'm full of shit. This is amazing. It's this.
Well, do you know what I think I have a disconnect with shows similar to The Walking Dead is that when, like you said, there's this rhythm that they fall into, and there's always a build up. There's always like this, what's gonna fuck up this momentum in Walking Dead. You constantly feel that, and it feels almost like. I mean, that's the fun of it, right? You get to see like what fucked up thing's gonna happen. You went through little girl zombies. You went to cannibalism, the medical crisis of trying to find pills at multiple times. There's all these different things.
Bitches getting pregnant.
Bitches getting pregnant, and then you're like, are we going to have this baby in the jail
Yeah.
that we came from? Because that place was better.
And then they got sick there. But see, that's the thing, too. I think that kind of turned me away.
Because it really is a question of, like, what would you do?
Yeah.
Like,
it's for a while,
what's
it was like, who's going to die? You know, it's you know, not just who's the
that
bad
was
guy
the
going to be in,
question
are they
for,
going to
like,
get out of
5
this fucking
seasons, I feel
situation?
like.
But it's like, who's going to fucking die this episode? You know? And then that gets annoying to a certain point, I think. And people wait for it to happen, and when it doesn't, it seems like like the show isn't progressing. Like, who's going to die this week? You know, like, it became that kind of a thing, and then they got away from it. So it was like, yeah, fucking Glenn gets his head bashed in, and like this kind of shit happens. This person dies, and you don't expect it, and then there's this, and then there's that, and then it's
somehow they make it like unexpectable too. Like
yeah,
like you're on the edge of your
living.
seat, and
you know they get fucking hurt or they get shot, and then they're fine. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
what the
seriously?
fuck? Like, there's certain things that are like that. I'm like, that's bullshit. And then all of a sudden, that they'll have some kind of what I consider, like, in Walking Dead, you have A characters, B characters, C characters, and extras, right?
Yeah.
And these B characters, they enter the family, so to speak, and they start being more, part of the group. And then you get your C characters that are always in and out, but they're not following in any fucking storyline. So the C characters are the red shirts of Star Trek. You expect them to fucking die. But when they all of a sudden, they'll build up the fucking backstory and learn about all this shit about these B characters because they don't want to kill an A character. Does that make any sense? It's like finally you fucking learn, like, and what's her face, Tara or whatever, gets this girlfriend, and then she gets a fucking arrow through the eye. It's like, fuck, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, kill Daryl. I don't give a fuck about Daryl. Like, everybody else is like, oh, fuck
if Daryl dies, we riot.
Yeah, fuck that noise. No, I get it. I get, like, he's an interesting character and shit, but I'm Merle. 100%. I love that motherfucker.
Oh my god.
I love Michael Rooker, dude. That dude is so fucking cool.
He does talk about somebody playing a role well.
Yeah.
I'll give him that because I mean he was atrocious. Like he was like like so bad.
And he wore it on his fucking sleeve too. He just didn't give a fuck. Look,
all of it.
Like on his downtime, he's looking for meth. I love that shit. I'm like, that is so funny.
But I think something that I have with shows like that, I had it with Supernatural, because that's a long-running show. I had it for just, these dramatic big shows like that. But I get a little bit of the, I don't know, I'll blanket term it as negativity fatigue. Like, I get kind of done with all of the negative to where it's not a hype show. It really is just like, all right, let's see what drama's going to happen on today's episode.
Yeah.
Because I would think that these ebbs and flows of like happiness moments of kind of being prosperous and build up and stuff like that, I would honestly like it if our culture was okay with a season, like literally a whole season where it's the build-up season, where it focuses on like establishing a community and getting deep down into like day-to-day drama, to where you get like a kind of a more of a personal relationship with the characters, and then the next season is like themed around it getting to be a battle point.
So you haven't seen The Walking Dead for a while. Because they did that.
For a season?
Pretty much.
Like they were
it seemed like season 7 was all fucking build-up. Like, you had all this shit that happened at the very beginning, and then the rest of it's like, you got to get everybody to the point where they need to rebel, and then now it's like, okay, now we're going to fight, And
okay.
That's not any spoiler shit.
All right.
But, yeah.
Well, no, but it's like I get a little, I'll give it another chance though. I'm gonna go through and watch some of it, because if you say that, I'll take your word on it. Because Christine, she's huge into it too.
She's a lifer, dude. She loves that fucking show. That's her. That's her.
Because
favorite
anytime
show.
we were like that episode 1 when we I think hinted at it, she was just like, oh,
hey now, fucking watch it. Yeah, no, she loves it.
But yeah.
And so I have to.
That was my thing, was that villain game. How we were like, every season's like, who's this season's villain? That literally is what it kind of shifted towards when I'm like, just make it not negative for a season to where it's just personal, and then take that personal away when I don't expect it later.
Yeah.
Not in a few episodes or at the end of an episode or something like that. It's like space that shit out like big time, and then it'll mean more. Because the human life became cheap on Walking Dead for a second.
Oh, fuck it.
Like,
it gets cheap again. That's for sure. I mean, but in reality, you try to put yourself in this place of like if you were living there. At least I do. And holy shit, you have no choice.
Yeah.
If you're going up against some of these guys, you have to be one of those guys that's going to be like, if I'm going to live the way that I want to fucking live on Earth, then I am going to fucking kill all of these motherfuckers, because fuck that shit.
I got to go Frank Castle on their asses,
Fucking
man,
A.
and make it so.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Hell
They should have
yeah.
kept Shane around. Who knew?
He at least knew how to get things done.
Who knew he
man.
was going to
Yeah.
become Frank Castle?
Isn't that funny? He would have been perfect for later seasons in Walking Dead because of his like structure work. He was such a structural guy to the point where it's hyper stressed.
Well, they had a guy like that, Abraham. That he was kind of like that military dude. He was cooler and shit.
Fuck, I just need to watch more of it, because there's a lot of characters that come into that show that have really interesting archetypes.
Yeah, and I think another thing with me where Walking Dead's I think besides Game of Thrones, and there might be another or two, but besides the shit on HBO and Walking Dead, there are no other shows that I watch that come out one a week. You know, and it's easier to sit through a shitty episode, or not shitty. You know what I mean? It's like when they're not hitting the high marks.
I mean, they can't all be bangers.
Yeah, exactly. They can't all be fucking
we're
home
two
runs.
different people.
But it's easier to get through episodes that have less action or have less of the shit that you like when you have the entire series in front of you, and you can go, well, let's watch another one. You know, let's watch another. Let's watch one.
True that.
And then when you're like, oh, that was it, and nobody died, and nothing fucking happened, and Rick's fucking, getting grosser, and this is fucking lame. So Coral, but no, it's
I need you to be a man. That was something that actually, legitimately, so if I say anything bad about a show that I like, generally, if I'm challenged on it, I can also defend that point. So, but Rick bugged me for a minute because of it felt like overacting.
Oh, totally,
honestly,
and it was
to where he was like,
it was Andrew Lincoln.
I need you guys to get into this area because I said so.
Yeah. I think that I agree with that a lot, and I think some of that has to do with Andrew Lincoln. He's British, right? And so he's doing a southern accent on top of it, and he's trying to come down with a cadence. And I could just be making that up, but sometimes it doesn't come off like an American sometimes, and so it kind of just
it's kind of true.
I think that has a
little
but he's an amazing guy. Like there's an episode
overall it kills it.
He that episode where Lori dies, which I've always said I fucking so glad she died. I hated Lori, everything about her.
She was a ball and chain for real.
Yeah, I'm ball and Shane. But now Rick's taking care of his kid. But when Lori died and he has the reaction, you got to know what I'm talking about. They've memed the fuck out of it. But then he gets super fucking sad and leans into Carl with his hands in his knees and shit. It fucking broke me. I mean, I fucking literally holy fuck, this guy just acted his dick off. Like it looked like his wife just died and his son had to fucking shoot her. You know what I mean?
When Lori died, that was intense, man.
Yeah.
It's hazy, but I remember that being ridiculous because I mean, she was the main character's wife.
Yeah.
It's just they really delivered on that shit.
She's a big old hoe.
So it's fun. Fun fact: Walking Dead was my first. I'm trying to think. I believe it was my first podcast.
Oh yeah,
Was the Walking Drunk, and we did it every week. After we watched the episode, we'd get smashed, and then we'd talk about
That's
it.
fucking
It was
awesome.
it was a lot of fun. It was an excuse to get everybody together, so it was a lot of fun.
You should have kept that shit going, man. People would probably dig the shit out of that because that sounds like a really good idea.
It was
you should
fun.
do game of
I
drink.
don't know if I could drink that much now. God, dude,
Yeah.
I was hammered every time.
That-
To where I'd like, it was fun because I was so drunk that I was an asshole and it wasn't a fun show.
No, that's usually not good for anyone. But yeah,
But so I wanted to also talk about, dude, I want to talk about Mindhunter specifically. I know that we mentioned it on the show, so for the sake of not retreading ground, specifically Holden, I want to talk about him with you.
yeah.
From start to finish, what did you like? Well, just what did you take away from that guy? Because I have like a
didn't
very
like Holden.
specific.
I didn't like Holden from the jump. To be honest, I always thought he was extremely arrogant, and kind of coming into a field that didn't exist. That's where I had an issue with him in the very beginning. Is that this for the FBI, that shit didn't exist yet. So for his arrogance to be like, well, this needs to be done, it's like, dude, what the fuck do you know about that?
Right.
And then by the end of it, it's like he stepped it up, and it's just like, oh fuck this guy. Yeah, he's good at what he does, but you know what I mean. You don't fucking see like people at McDonald's coming out and going, I cooked the fuck out of that burger. Fuck yeah, get the fuck out of my way. Don't touch me. People don't do that shit in real life, and when they do, they're called douchebags. But you gotta have that, right? He's gotta have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope.
Well, and that's what did you like because he comes in with arrogance into like a newly, and that's like the build of the show is the fact that this guy's pressure is what created like the field at that time, and then he gets a big head about it. So you think he had a big head before it? Because first, I think he felt pretty just green, but sure of himself.
That's what I mean.
Unsure of how to apply that to what was going on.
I think that's what I mean. Is more than anything, he was just had an arrogant personality. Not so much that
that came out as soon as he was
as soon as he got a green light on something, he was just like, holy fuck, holy fuck. But I do like it in certain situations, like when he's talking to certain people and he says like off the wall shit to get them to like lower their defenses, and like I can't remember the exact quote, but I think you probably know what I'm talking about.
Right, yes, right cunt or
right
some
cunts.
shit like that.
Yeah, right cunts. That sounds gross.
God, dude, it was so weird. And so that's like probably the easiest to talk about point for me, because at the beginning, what you said, I agree. Sounds like we're on the same page. He was green, but then he got green lighted, and then he had this like super arrogance about him. And it got to the point where when the ripe cunt thing happened, that shit was like hard to watch. Not because of like what he said, because fuck it, he drove a response, right? Like he was so inside their head that he drove a response. But it was because when people said, dude, that's pretty intense shit that you're saying in there, he was just like, I don't even like, what are you even saying?
Yeah,
just, like,
no shit. He turned into like a fucking millennial.
What the fuck are you? Who are you?
I don't remember what was this, the 70s? Yeah, because they just got Manson and shit, and Son of Sam. That's what it was, and that was in the 70s. So, but that's the thing, is he comes off like, what are you talking about? I'm doing what I gotta do, and gets like this arrogant fucking attitude. And I'm like, dude, you're in the fucking 70s. You grew up during this time. You know that shit isn't okay. They don't say ass on TV.
Look at everybody's face in the room around you is it's like disgruntled. That's how they feel. Actually, that's not just them trying to fuck.
No,
with you,
those are disgruntled employees.
Dude, that was so. It was like, and I always like when I first watch scenes like this, I have a hard time watching them, but then I get like kind of tolerant about it as I understand and kind of let it sit for a second. But when I first watched him, just with that fucking arrogance after that, I hated him. And I'm like, am I supposed to hate this guy at the end of the show? Do I have to end this season hating a person? Yeah. And then he has a panic attack.
Yeah, that's what I was like, kind of saved it for me. Because I'm like, he is fucking human. So, he's not just a fucking cocksmoker, Yeah,
because usually when somebody is that arrogant and full of themselves, it's like a literal lack of the ability to like adjust to the people around them, right?
Yeah.
Like they're so in their own fucking head that they just can't
like a
even.
Fucking sociopath. Yeah. I know exactly what
you're saying. And they teased it so well because they like... It makes you think weird thoughts about Holden. You're like, is he a serial killer? Because he has no remorse about this level of familiarity he has with them.
Yeah.
Like he's not being like, oh no, dude, like I just know how to get them to just spill all the beans.
Well, yeah, exactly,
Like,
and how comfortable he is with the fucking serial killers and shit. That all fucking fades away when what's his nuts lays his hands on him and he's about ready to shit his pants. You know.
Yeah,
I don't
dude.
blame him.
It made me think of like that Green Mile scene where he grabs him and he pisses his pants or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That guy pisses
That's a good
himself.
fucking movie too.
Now look at him being paid in his pants. Dude, Green Mile is so good.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
I think Green Mile is like one of the more distinct movies of my teenage years, honestly, just because it was that dark drama that I had not experienced on that level.
That's
yet.
Stephen King, isn't it?
Oh God, I don't know. Is it?
I think
so.
But shit, that was what's his face? Tom Hanks rocked the shit out of that, and Michael
Yeah.
Clark
It
Duncan.
is Stephen King.
Michael Clark Duncan was
Oh.
fan-fucking-tastic in that. And he's good in almost everything, but fuck, he rocked the shit out of that. Leon, what was it? I want to say
movie's just
something.
crazy.
Leon Coffee? No, it ain't Leon Coffee, is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
John Coffee? Yeah, but
John
somebody
Coffey.
came to con as him once in Salt Lake. Salt Lake, what do they call it? Salt Lake General Comic Conference now? Because remember San Diego had a lawsuit against them? Did you hear
Yeah.
that? They won.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh no
Yeah.
shit! They have to change the name.
Yeah,
Dude, he's got that fucking sticker on his car. He's gonna have
yeah,
to
you put
decal
that
the whole
shit on a
Lambo.
fucking Lambo. like if you could pick the douchiest car in the world to do anything at all with, and he fucking bought one, and it's like, let's wrap it. I'm like, what? Yeah, you gotta have to do it again, dipshit.
With the level of like, dude, that's about as classy as wallpaper that he's got.
Yeah,
It's
using
good.
linoleum as wallpaper. It's fucking. It's pretty fucking lame. But I don't feel bad at all that they lost. I wish. I mean, hindsight, obviously, you know, it's 20, whatever. But you can fucking look back and be like, dude, it would have been way smarter to say, fucking okay. You know, we won't be called Comic-Con. It isn't going to affect shit because everybody in Utah has been begging for a con forever, and they're not going to stop. You just call it Fan X, dude. I mean,
Right.
That's
seriously, they already had a brand
Yeah.
on the
No,
side. Just fan experience. Just
Fucking
run
A.
with that because they're both general fucking terms. Like
Yeah.
comic convention.
Well, 'cause
fan experience.
No,
Like
I don't
it's-
think anybody really gave a fuck. Did they? I mean, anybody that gives a fuck about that shit, did they give a shit? I mean, I didn't. It's like, I don't give a fuck what it's called. It could be called Salt Lake fucking Geek Swap Stand in Line Con. I mean, I don't give a shit because that's all you do anyway. Stand on fucking line.
Yeah, fuck that guy's car. Hey, we're going to take a quick break to just refill the cups, and we'll be right back after a few words from us. Hello, everyone. Your friendly neighborhood editor, Jake here, and thank you so much for listening to this much of the show. Really appreciate you tagging along so far. Just a little announcement. I am going to use the middle of our episodes for room to discuss upcoming projects with you guys, let you know about what's going on with us, the Broken Spoke Network, and some things we're going to be working on. But we covered all that shit at the beginning of the show, so I'm not going to go through the details again with you. That would be crazy. So instead, this time we have a bit for your listening pleasure. So enjoy the bit, and in the future, you'll just hear from me to have me kind of check in and let you know what we're up to. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the episode. Here's a small bit, and appreciate your being around. Really means a lot. Yeah, I'm thinking of investing in it because, Billie Jean told me that the Bitcoins are the best way for me to make money.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you first because I didn't really understand it.
Well, what a Bitcoin is, you see, is you go on the interweb and you put your real money and you get a bit of a coin back. And after time, it increases or decreases in value, just like any precious metal, really. It's something that there's lots of research done on it. You can buy groceries with a bit of a coin. You can buy beers, but it just depends on how many bits of coin you have in order to make one full coin. And that full coin can be anywhere from $100 to 17 cents. It just depends on the fucking day. So, it's a gamble, just like investing in anything, you know.
Oh, I like gambling.
No, I know you
and
do.
That's what I saw the website.
It's perfect
and
for
it
you.
Said that I could pay now.
Perfect for you.
And if I put money into it, they said that I can there could be like 5 Bitcoins equals 10 Bitcoins.
Holy
like
shit.
Just with the same day.
Huh.
And then I can use those to buy more Bitcoins.
Right.
And by the end of it, I got a lot of Bitcoins that I can use to
Okay.
well, I'm not really sure at that point
Yeah.
what I would do.
Well, I imagine you just go down to 7-Eleven and you can buy a Bitcoin. You just go and you say, hey, I would like to take my $1.
So if I accumulate them, I can use the Coinstar.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we used to
That's
get
it's all
them
related.
wheat pennies.
It's all related.
We got the wheat pennies. They even take the 50-cent pieces. I had the Susan B. Anthony's.
They're worthless.
And, oh God,
Yeah. She wasn't.
Aunt Marla brought them to me, and she told me do not get rid of these. I kept those.
Yeah.
But I did get rid of the wheat pennies. But I'm thinking about the Bitcoins.
Yeah, you should. You should get into it. I mean, them wheat pennies. The price of wheat is so low now, anyways. You don't need to save your wheat pennies. So the Bitcoins is. Have you ever heard of a piece of?
Oh, that's so good. I'm gonna take a fat rip.
These things are so fucking loud. It's like I see you like trying to move away, and I'm trying to move away. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It'd pick it up from upstairs.
Luckily, I'm comfortable being a vape lord.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Everybody knows that flex.
No, yeah. You rip fat clouds, bro. I mean, it's what you do. You know,
all day clouds.
Yeah, you're like one of those
Like people say, "Damn, I hate the smog here," and I'm just snickering.
You're like, sorry, I guess. Fuck. What am I supposed to do? Fucking inversion via Jake.
And with that, welcome back to
We're back.
4.
Yeah.
Can you do any Simpsons like Krusty? You got a Krusty impression?
Oh no, honestly I've only ever seen like
I don't even know.
I've only ever seen a couple of episodes of that show.
God, he's so raspy. But all right, so the next show on it was just a
what do you mean
showcase
I
this time,
can't
I
take
guess.
off my sweater? I'm hot!
That's from The Simpsons.
He gets so raspy, man. I can't do it. Worst episode ever. So I've been watching Broadchurch, and I really like this show a lot.
I haven't even started it.
I think it's just the acting. I think the acting just floors me because of how intense they make it. Like, because it's so obviously umphed by the music and by the what do you call it? The directing, just how they're filming the show and stuff. It's like over the top drama, but it doesn't bother me because I'm actually invested in it, and it blends into the story, and the actors and actresses do such a good job of just like bringing this child's death that happened in a small town. So
which is always hilarious.
Yeah, it's just it's good comedy.
Yeah.
Good comedy. But oh my god, I don't know, man. It's intense.
Well, David Tennant's fucking amazing, dude. I don't know anything about the show, and I have already said that I'm gonna start it, and I haven't yet. But cause he's so fucking good. Like the only Doctor Who's that I've actually been able to watch was when he was the Doctor, and
and he's fucking fantastic. Yeah. And then I don't know her name, but Agent Miller. That's the So there's a small town Broadchurch. A little kid dies, and it's the investigation of that kid's death. And it's small town, so it's everybody, and you get to know who's there and who's suspicious, and just whatever. And Agent Miller is already there, and then. I don't even fucking remember his name, but anyways, he gets there, the tenant, right?
Yeah.
He gets there and is already kind of racked by something. He's just kind of irritable.
What is he?
He's
what
tense.
is he in this thing? Is he a cop?
A detective.
Okay.
He's a detective.
Okay.
Yeah. but it's
So there's no TARDIS.
like no TARDIS
okay.
that I saw. I think that's where he came.
But he
from,
can
though,
control
'cause-
people and make him do whatever he wants, like when he's in Jessica Jones.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
I'm with you.
But dude, and one of the best things about the show is where they shot it. It's not just a small
This
town.
fucking
It's
thing
like a
is gonna bug the
beautiful
shit out of
small town in like somewhere around like Scotland. I don't know where Broadchurch is at. Somewhere around there. Scotland's nearby, so it's just gorgeous. You know, like gorgeous environments and stuff. But they I just super like the show. That's all I really had, was that it's phenomenal. And once you watch it more, we can revisit and talk about it. But last night, me and Carissa were doing a thing where I would imitate Tennant,
Yeah.
and then she would imitate the girl. Oh my god, it was so funny. We'd just go back and forth of whatever they said we would try to say,
Yeah.
exactly like them. And he does this thing, he's always pissed off, always tense, can't sleep, he cares too much about the cases, he can't get out of them and stuff. And so
Right, like
it's
like a
every time.
stereotypical kind of guy that's
Yeah.
life is ruled by his work kind of a deal.
He's like, Milla! Milla! Like, he gets so mad, like, every time she's like, Milla, come on!
It's Milla time. So,
Milla
is that
time.
the name of the chick? Is Milla?
Milla. Yeah, Miller. But yeah, just crazy. And season 2 spins it really well. They just did season 3, and season 3 kind of detaches from the murder stuff, and it's following like sexual assault, and like just crazy. It's just good TV, good television.
Fuck yeah, bud. That's cool. I watched a new show. I just pounded through the first season of a show called Norseman. I had passed it a few times on Netflix because it just looked like a Vikings.
And I always think Vikings.
And I thought it was
when
going to be
pass
like a
that.
Vikings knockoff because that's what it is. And the description is like 8th century, Nordic people, living with cultural change and day-to-day shit. I mean, I don't know exactly what it says, but something along those lines.
Yeah.
In nowhere in the description does it say this is a fucking hilarious parody of fucking Vikings, pretty much. I mean, of that culture.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it's so fucking funny. I loved it. Like, and my wife was like, "This is silly," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I fucking love it. It's just hilarious. Just like little cultural changes. They take this, they take a fucking slave from Rome, and bring him back, and he starts like insisting that they need to get like more art installations and to build a theater. Like, and I don't want to ruin too much of the show because honestly, it's one of those.
He's bringing the culture to the Vikings.
Yeah, exactly, and like it becomes this whole thing, and it's fucking great.
That's a funny premise.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say too much about it because I want you to watch it.
So you guys kill and murder and rape and all this shit, and you steal all this nice stuff, but like you don't even have a museum here.
Well, there's one example. Like, he has a really, really fucking hard time coming to terms with that he's a fucking slave, right? And so he thinks that he's like supposed to be treated a certain way that he's used to. So when he first gets there on the boat, I guess somebody took his cloak. And when he gets to fucking Norway or wherever, he's like, well, the guy I let borrow my cloak, he said he was going to give it back to me when we got here, and the guy shows up. And he's like, "Hey, that's my cloak. You said you were going to give it back." He's like, "No, this isn't mine. This isn't yours." And he's like, "What? That's impossible that we both have the same green cloak, and you're getting it all dirty." He's like, and you just happen to have the same family crest as mine." And then he's like, "Oh, so this is your cloak?" He's like, "Yeah." And then he has one of his buddies hold the slave. He's like, "Oh, this is yours?" He's like, "Yes, it's mine." And then he sticks his finger in his asshole and then puts the finger in his mouth. And the guy's just sitting there gagging and wanting to die. And he's like, "So is this yours?" And he's like, No. It's that kind of shit. It's just so fucking funny.
Oh, dude.
But like, and that's just one. And I don't remember how many episodes, but it's pretty fucking funny. I will definitely watch the second season if it comes out.
That's a good dude. So there's 2 like big parodies that apparently are really good. There's because I got to watch that, and I got to watch American Vandal because I got confirmation from even more people that show was funny.
Oh yeah, because
and they're like, yeah, it spins you, and it'll keep you on your head, and you won't even expect it, and they never let up. And I'm like,
they never break, and you always expect it to be like to end with like everybody shrugging and being like that was funny or something like that. American Vandal, but it doesn't. It's just fucking ridiculous. That's a funny deal. That's a funny deal too.
It makes me really happy to see parodies doing. Oh, looks like somebody is going to jail again.
Fuck the police! Fuck the police!
God, that totally took me out of what I was thinking of. Anyways, I'm just gonna shift from whatever I was saying. Oh, parodies done well because there were so many bad parodies. There was like all the Scream. What were they called? That were they were the popular.
Yeah,
ones
scary
for a
movies.
while.
The scary movie.
Scary movies because they had a couple good ones, and then after a while. They like stretched it too thin, and then other people latched on, and there was just so much.
But today,
shit.
it's what makes me happy is probably what makes you happy about it too. Is that you have like where we grew up with like Screams and the Naked Gun and like these really stupid fucking parody movies and shows and shit that they were funny because of what they were saying and doing and shit. But these parodies they do now, it's more. They got big budgets. They're fucking obviously giving a shit about what they're doing, and it's so fucking funny to me.
Well, one of my favorite parodies was Tucker and Dale. Is that right?
That's not a parody.
Versus Evil. Tucker and Dale.
Okay, I guess
that's just a
satire.
I guess it's just a comedy, but it's satire. You're right.
But totally, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, when it's that level of comedy, it's just too good. Like, all these guys keep killing themselves around us. It's just so funny.
Well, I just love it. He just hooked himself right in the fucking wood chipper. And that guy, God, what's his fucking name?
He's traumatized.
What's the guy's name? Because they're both so fucking funny. Have you ever seen the Hulu series? God, I feel like a douche that I don't know their names. But there's a Hulu series with one of those guys. The bigger guy.
Yeah,
he's a medium.
It's in my mind too.
He's a medium, and he is a ghost whisperer. I've seen every one of them. There's like 2 or 3 seasons, I think, and that show is fucking hilarious. That's another good one.
I'll have to find that and check that out.
Tucker and Dale. They were supposed to have a sequel, from what I heard.
I would love a sequel
all day. I'll watch that in the theater. I love that fucking flick.
So, dude, a show that I always wanted to talk to you about was Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Oh yeah, the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, did you watch that?
Watch part of it. Yeah, I didn't finish it.
I mean, yeah, if you watch part of it, you get all of it.
Yeah.
But dude, what? Could you imagine? What would your thing be that you would get that into that you could literally live and die by?
There isn't one. I mean, if there was gonna be one, I would have fucking done it. I've been, you know what I mean. I've done music and fucking cooking and all that shit. If there was gonna be something that I lack the whatever you want to call it, fortitude or whatever. It's just not. It's not in my fucking programming, and that's why I'm sitting and talking, because that's any asshole can do that.
I think it's rare. I think it's rare for somebody to be that tuned into just one thing, because it's just. I mean, it's just like with that, it's just mastering sushi, and it's It was like flooring me how this guy's just like, no, it has to be this way.
It's crazy,
especially
that. And it's so culturally, it's so defined.
Yeah, because we saw it with like tattoo artists. Yeah. We saw that going crazy, and it's just like I could see that. That dude's been doing tattoos his whole life. That's amazing. Yeah. Or like a kind of the typical arts like painting or like you said, music or some stuff like that. Like I think people do get there, just a matter of them gaining traction.
Right.
But this dude gained traction with sushi, and is doing very well, and he's booked out for months and months and months, and that's like his full cup of tea. It just was so weird to watch it about that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's about one fucking, because I can understand, like,
it's not even cooking, it's sushi
no, totally.
cooking.
Totally.
Just
and
that.
That's one thing I've always thought was crazy about, like, if you, even in Salt Lake, we're a landlocked state. There's no fucking ocean on our borders. If you drive around this town, just Salt Lake City, how many fucking sushi restaurants are here? You know what I mean? There's a fucking billion of them, it seems like. And it's like, that is one, I mean, obviously you have Mexican food too, but that's way fucking different. Where sushi is like, and obviously at sushi restaurants, they also have other Japanese cuisine, but it's so, I don't want to, because it's definitely an art form, and I don't want to disrespect it by calling it one-dimensional, because it's not. I mean, there's definitely different levels.
But it is.
But it is in
in
essence, right? It's raw fucking fish with rice and veggies. I mean, that's it. That's what you fucking do. And people love it so fucking much that everywhere you go, there's a sushi restaurant. I mean, everywhere. There's sushi restaurants in, like, shithole little towns in Oregon that I've been to. And I'm like, what the fuck? They don't even have a Walmart.
I think what fucks with my mind is the fact that, like, when I eat sushi, I don't get fucked up. And so it's hard for me to relate, because I'm just like, when I drank a lot of whiskey, I could become a whiskey connoisseur, because that shit makes me feel crazy.
Yeah, it makes you feel great.
And you know what I mean? Like, there's all these, like, I don't know, like, with sushi, it's like you just eat it and then that's
fucking food. I mean, kind of.
That's
it.
Food. It's food.
I don't know if you know this about me, but you know that I like food. I mean, obviously, but I love
food. I like your food.
Thank you. But I
like eating off of you.
I don't like sushi.
Really?
I don't. I love raw fish. I mean, I'll eat raw fish on occasion and shit like that. But I don't like rice that much, and that's a big component of sushi.
Yeah.
And so my wife's favorite food is sushi, and we go to sushi restaurants all the fucking time. But I always order, Korean ramen or fucking, some
other fish
something else.
Or something like that.
I usually don't order fish. I mean, I have a real thing about ordering fish in a fucking state where there's no ocean.
Okay.
But I think it's weird that I don't like sushi.
And I just tried to not be, I tried to, like, do a hard shift on me being a picky eater, because I was for a long time, and so I try to eat anything, and sushi, I think came at just the right time, because I was just, like, trying a whole bunch of new shit, and I made a new palate for myself, but, it's interesting that you say, like, like Mexican food restaurants are all over, especially in the, what are we, west, I guess?
Southwest,
Yeah, and it's cheap and it's affordable. It's that's kind of the thing with most places with Mexican food. Sushi's generally, like, more expensive, but even with our culture, it's going down in price, and it's having to do all that shit. But this guy is like, no, man, take your time with it, and you could spend $1,000 on a piece of sushi.
You could spend $1,000 on sushi, motherfucker. I will
dude.
spend $1,000 to not eat sushi in 2018. But no, and that was one of the weird things
that show just floored me.
Yeah, it's
too fucking weird
cool
to see
show.
it about that.
But it was well done.
Because usually with a show like that, it'd be like Cake Boss, just like, all right, today we got all these different cupcakes, and this one looks like the Mona Lisa. But this guy's like, no, I just take my time.
Yeah, no, you take this fish, you take a piece of fish, and then you kind of.
Oh yeah, that old asshole. He comes in the kitchen all the time. He points at that one. He's just like, nah, the brush stroke you use, you went vertical and not vertical on that one. You went up instead of down.
Cut crust green. You need to cut with green. Like, fucking shut the fuck up. It's fucking fish. It's gonna taste exactly the fucking same.
I think that's what it was I'm so Americanized that when I watch that show, I'm like, this isn't how people act. They scream at each other in kitchens when they're this anal about something. They don't get respect. Because in America, you have to get screamed at, and then they're like, "No, you're right, and I should have been better."
right.
And he's like, "I forgive you."
You scared me. You
know?
scared me into agreeing with you. You're right.
And with Jito, everybody's like, "That guy, dude.
Yeah.
You think that he's booked out for sushi? His pussy calendar has been filled up since the 90s."
Yeah, fucking A, yeah. It just smells like fish everywhere that guy goes. Wash your fucking hands, you know.
That dude is the raw fish master.
Yeah, he is. Love him. I love him. He's a hero.
Anything else that stood out to I've been listening to, I've just been podcasting hard, so I mean, for me to talk about another podcast would be silly, but
I'll talk a little bit about what's coming up on Aunt Cory. Is I am going to do a couple different things. I'm going to interview my wife, Christine, and we're going to talk about some of the issues, when we're really going to talk about Utah. How the public education system is kind of fucked up. My wife is one term away from graduating with her degree in early childhood education and development, and she's not going to be a teacher. And
which is crazy.
It's a tragedy
to me.
because she is meant for it. Like like so many other people that go into that field in college, is they're passionate about teaching, they're passionate about molding minds and stuff like that, but when it comes down to the economics of it, it's not doable.
It's just not it's not feasible.
It's
survive off those
fucking
wages.
Shame. And I won't get into too much about the stats and stuff that I've looked up about how Utah
we'll
shame.
find more on the show.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm also going to explore something I learned about Utah is the Mountain Meadows Massacre. I'm going to talk about that.
Which I'm pretty excited. I've been purposefully not helping you with that because I'm excited to learn about it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm excited to hear like the presentation, because I'm kind of walking in blind. I've heard like a hint of it, and I know some of my friends have gotten into it, but I don't know shit about that.
Yeah,
and it sounds crazy.
I'm not going to say shit about it because I want that to be new, and I got some calls out to some people that are authorities on the topic, and I'm going to listen to them and just, hopefully get a fucking wealth of information about something I had no idea about, and I grew up 2 states away. And I think it's fucking nuts. But
with your talk with the wifey, man, mention or just kind of explore a little bit, like on top of the like kind of economics of it and stuff. There's also a lack of like good placement for the teachers that are there.
Yeah.
And that's in developing fields. Like example, I was talking with one of my like streaming regulars that I'd meet up with, the Easily Bored Gamer, and he was telling me that it's a senior year in high school right now, and he is in a video game design course where they teach you kind of like coding practices and some logic and stuff like that. And he said that his teacher is like absolutely not qualified to teach it, and it amazed me that they basically just picked like the typing. Yeah. Like whoever was running the computer room, they just grabbed her and said, you're going to do this now because we need a game design course that's flashy and hot. So rather than actually taking it as an opportunity to branch kids into STEM, they put a fucking retard in charge of like teaching computer programming, like something that doesn't act like they're reading the dummy book as they're teaching the course, just like
exactly
old movie goofs and
well,
stuff.
And that's basically that's definitely one of the topics that it's about is because you have people with ambition who work hard and are passionate people, period, that decide that they want to be in this field so that they can make a fucking difference. And by the time they graduated, they spent 4 years in college and accrued so much debt that in order to fucking go out and to do this, to teach children or even older people in a lot of situations, is it's not practical for them because they are qualified. They can do other work. They're not just stuck in what they studied. So they can go out and go get a different job working for $50,000, $60,000 a year, and then their degree is put on a shelf somewhere, and it's always like, oh, is maybe if the times change or if something happens, we can come back to this. But it's one of those things that is it's a fucking shame, because then you end up the people that fill those slots, and they need fucking teachers. Like, Utah needs fucking teachers. Christine hasn't graduated, and she has 2 fucking job offers that she is not going to take. And
just because
she gets,
like you said, the practicality of a job like that just doesn't,
and so who gets
up.
the job? Somebody who sat through fucking class and graduated with a C fucking average, doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? And they go out and they're the ones that are going to mold your minds. Where my wife, not to be braggadocious, but to fucking, she's graduating with honors, and she's going to graduate summa cum laude. You know what I mean? It's like she's somebody that you want, fucking, who knows the structure of it and knows how to do it and is willing to adapt and change with the times. But anyways, we'll get into all that on Aunt Cory.
Yeah.
But
it
really does.
That makes me excited for the show, that it's like
fired up, because it pisses me off.
And it should. That's something to look forward to, just because it is so important, and because in retrospect, if I would have had a little bit different guiding hand, I think that I could have shaved 8 years off professionally. Like I would already be situated into something completely different, because my number one problem with college was that I couldn't make up my mind, because nobody helped me figure out who I was in application. They just said nice things about me, and it's like, for God's sake, you don't need a nice teacher. You need a nice teacher that's good with the social skills, and somebody that's going to challenge your mind in the right direction.
And they give a fuck, and whether or not they give a fuck. Because
some of my favorite teachers, if I look at it as far as like challenging me. No, they were just cool.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like not giving a fuck about you on a personal level, but giving a fuck enough about their job that they know their impact on you could change the direction of your fucking life. And that is what teachers are. And now they're just glorified fucking babysitters where parents fucking get... anyway, like I said, we'll get I'll throw my hands up.
You know what's great, though, is the education system as it stands raises dirty bastards like us that get to grow up and scream into microphones. So at least they're doing that right. All right, man. You got anything else? I'm a little tapped out for that.
No, I'm good, dude. We can fucking... Oh, we do need to mention, however, we are missing one of our fucking compatriots. I think we
are?
Yeah, Mitch, the third fucking amigo, the cheese to our nachos, isn't fucking here, bro. So
that's
shout out to Mitch.
I think that he's recuperating from the Jeep loss. I think that it's just
it hit him hard.
Taking a toll.
It hit him hard. And, we will rebuild. And hopefully he's here next time and we can, I was going to say he could talk about it, but he doesn't do much talking. But he'll be here for oral support, as they say. Oral support. We miss you this episode. He will, oh my God.
he'll be around. Just keep your eyes open for Mitch. He's going to be here.
You just said, Miss will Mitch you.
Miss will Mitch you. Mitch you lots.
I'm worried about him.
All right, this has been the Broken Spoken Podcats. I am Jake. You can find me at Darkgrass. Links in whatever descriptions that we find.
Yeah.
And
I'm Cory.
What was your favorite's Instagram? Find Cory on Instagram.
Find me wherever you find talented people doing their thing. I'll be there.
Yeah, wherever talent is broadcasted.
Yeah.
Just type in Cory and it'll be right there. And as always, check out BrokenSpokeNetwork.com, because I like that site. I like websites. I believe in websites more than I do in social platforms.
We have a comic. We have a comic strip that's going to be coming out on there too. So keep an eye out there.
Pretty cool.
And we have check out on Facebook here coming up next week. We're going to have a contest going out for people on there that can leave best captions. Well, that's all Mitch though. He'll explain all that shit on Facebook. So that's something to look forward to, getting some cool swag.
Yeah, we're going to do I like the swag, too, of this one. We're going to kind of do this, semi-regularly, just get some swag out there. We got some ideas for that. But, yeah, check out Facebook, just facebook.com/BrokenSpokeNetwork, for just whatever, little giveaways and contests that we do. It's fun. It's all for fun.
It's all love.
It's all love.
Cool.
Anyways, yeah, peace out, Girl Scouts.
Bye.